All right, how you doing, world? This is the DJQuam Podcast, and today we have a special guest, my homegirl. We have Miss Olivia Irene. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. It's been a long day. So let's get started. Okay, so I've known you for about a year and a half now, and you are a fashion blogger / singer.
Yes.
Correct, and a little bit of all-around hustler, entrepreneur right there.
Yes.
Okay, so where are you from?
San Jose.
San Jose, California. How's the San Jose life?
It's San Jose. Lived there my whole life, South San Jose.
Okay. Cool. Now, let's get into your fashion blogging. How did that start?
It started about 4 years ago. I was at school and I stumbled across a blog and I started reading it and I really loved it, and that kind of opened the doors to discovering other blogs, and I'm like, kind of interested in this, I want to try something, and created a blog on Blogger, and I did not know what to write. It was really sad. I still have all my old posts up and they're really pitiful. I had no focus, nothing, but I had a strong love for writing, and once I started getting the hang of it, during my senior year, my professor required us to have a blog for one of our courses and helped me focus on my primary focus, which is fashion. And that's where I started to get more serious. I invested in a camera, started getting into different communities, reaching out to other bloggers, collaborating, and that's where it started to take off. So I tell people I started to blog 4 years ago. However, it started getting serious, I would say like 2 years ago.
Okay,
yeah.
2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get into the fashion scene, as far as blogging, explain that. What is, from what I know, is just a platform for a person like you or myself to write about a certain industry and just freelance, just a chance to express your opinion about something on the web. Or is that it basically? Yeah,
for me, blogging for me personally is just a creative outlet, and it was funny. I just left a meeting with one of my best friends on how to market ourselves and who is our reader, and it made me stop and think like, I'm not blogging for readers. I'm not blogging for anyone. I'm blogging for me. So lately I've been receiving a lot of emails specifically for hair posts. So I'm like, all right, maybe I should incorporate that more, hair and beauty. But for the most part, blogging for me was just a creative outlet, just to write and express why I wore what I wore that day.
Okay. I feel the same way about, as far as this podcast. I feel the podcasting is the future of the industry. I mean, with social media, everybody's voicing their opinion, but now just waking up in the morning, I watch sports or news and movies, and most of the time I don't need to actually see it on TV while I'm working out or I'm on my way to work or doing whatever. I can just listen to the just the audio. And that's one thing I listen to, sports, movies, you name it. If it interests me, I want to hear people who are somewhat of an expert in the industry, and I just want to listen to it. So I can see how blogging, as far as you saying, okay, I want to talk about my fashion, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are into fashion. Yeah. So I think that's pretty dope, and I might get a little DJQuam blogger on there, but let's get back to now. Fashion, what interests you about fashion? I mean, clothing, like how did that,
How did that all come about? Well, my grandmother, she designs clothes. She always made me dresses, made me tops, and
from scratch.
From scratch.
Okay.
And also to my mom, both her and my mom, they had their own clothing store. So my mom kept majority of her clothes, which I now wear, that are like 25 years old, actually more than 25 years. She wore them in her 20s. So that's kind of the introduction and how I got into fashion. And my grandmother showed me how to sew. And at first I would categorize myself as a tomboy in high school. I was wearing sneakers, hoodies, that's all. And I felt very awkward in dresses. And even though my mom gave me her old clothes, I was like, I'm not gonna wear this. This is not in. And now I appreciate the things that she gave me, because when I started to read magazines, and just also to music, seeing a lot of these artists and what they wear, that's kind of what kind of sparked my interest. And like I said, the creative outlet, when I would say during my senior year of high school, that's where I started to use clothes as a creative outlet for me.
Oh no, I just had a thought. That was not that I'm looking at you crazy. So I have a thought. So first I want to talk about, how do you describe your own personal fashion? You know, what do you like? Do you have a retro feel, or, you know, I don't know a lot about, you know, women's fashion.
Yeah.
You know, if she look good, she looks good. But I mean, just to get into it, because I believe on your blog you also have a men's section, so you talk about the way men could also dress. Okay, so let's talk about what's your personal, like, what do you like?
Personal style.
Your personal style.
So my personal style, I always tell people, it changes every day on my mood. It's eclectic. One day I want to wear something crazy and funky. I would think for shoes. Shoes are my thing. Like, I will go above and beyond for shoes. So typically that's how I create my outfit. I look at a shoe and I'm like, all right, what am I gonna wear today? But there are days where I want to have the classic look, or if I'm feeling, you know, really good about myself, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna, you know, wear something a little bit more risque. Or if I'm feeling lazy, I'll wear something casual, my sneakers, a t-shirt. But I always try to have my own personal touch to it.
Right.
And it took a while for me to discover what works for me. And I typically stick to basics and then just putting a little twist to it, whether it's like a t-shirt, cuffing the sleeves, like jeans, cuff the, you know, your jeans up and then wear a funky shoe. You know, accessorize, use jewelry. My thing is gold jewelry or delicate pieces. It's just finding what works for you and understanding your body type as well. So like playing off of your body shape, your skin tone, you know, what colors work best for you.
Man, this is in depth.
Yeah, like what materials too, you know, like I like cotton. I always rock the cotton tee. Sometimes I wear silk dresses because I like how it feels and to stay cool. You know, understanding what works for you. And it takes time. But for the most part, going into now menswear, I have like a passion for menswear. I would rather style men than women. I think men today, they just stick to a t-shirt, jeans, and sneakers, which is fine. It's just fine. But I feel like a lot of guys, I never really come across guys that are very creative in how they dress. And I think sometimes they get a little scared because I get feedback from my page where they're like, I would never wear that. I would never wear a polka dot top. Or I'll never wear like those colors. And it's like, no, you can. You just need to rock it. You need to own it. And I think, no, seriously,
okay.
It's like rocking it and
I got
owning
my
what
camera
you're wearing.
lady in the back now today. Yeah. Shout out to me, nasty Miss Vanessa. I see you. Not to cut you off, you know, this is your interview, of course, the DJQuam Podcast, you know, but I mean, as we know, it takes the saying is it takes men, you know, boys mature, you know, slower than women. But to a certain extent, I mean, looking at the fashion now with the way a guy dresses, it's going into a retro look. And, you know, being in the Bay Area, we had the hyphen with black t-shirt, blue jeans, and Nikes, and that's what it was. Now, I saw, when I was in college, I saw the not necessarily, skinny jeans came back. I never wore that, but now fitted jeans per se, you know, doesn't necessarily just whatever works with your body, as you were saying, just something that's fitted, you know. Now you have Levi's with the 511s, the 512s.
Oh, I love the 501s.
The 501s, and they have the different, you know, so that's, you know, it's dope. Not everybody could just, you know, rock some Wranglers and call it a day. No. So that's just not me, but I mean, you have to, with men, I can see nowadays, that's, some people still dress that way, nothing wrong with that. Some guys like to go a little above and beyond, but then you have, sometimes it gets a little too feminine, you know, and you can say, I mean, from a guy's point of view, talking fashion, you know, rock, do what you do, that's what being a man, do what you do, and, you know, right. But at the same time, it goes a little too overboard, you know. But that each is its own, and then each is its own. I think you should dress what you're comfortable in. I mean, of course, you want to attract a young, beautiful lady. You ain't got a young, mature, beautiful lady. Either or. You know? But at the same time, you know, if everybody's rocking a black t-shirt, the newest J's and some jeans, you know, you're like, okay, I'm gonna rock a pink shirt with some polka dots or something like that. And you just, sure, everybody will know who you are in that area. If it works to your advantage, hey, but I think looking at certain celebrities, they're just doing it for the wow factor. I don't think the problem I see, I don't think it's authentic. It's organic.
Yeah.
That you wore that just to wear that. You just wore that just to. So
it's a marketing strategy for them. I definitely feel though, again, just coming from the Macy's event, just talking about fashion. Look at Marvin Gaye. You know, look at Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, yeah.
Look at how they dress, like, in the 70s. Like, they have platforms. My dad used to rock platforms. He had a jumpsuit. I mean, there's some things you just, like, keep in the past, but they're different times. But fashion always repeats itself.
True. And yeah, just like the retro 90s look is coming back in with the, you know, you watch the movie Juice, or you watch, you know, Above the Rim, what they were rocking. Not as tight, but skinny jeans was never really in, but, you know, the fitted jeans are coming back. You know, Pink Dolphin, shout out to the Pink Dolphin clothing line, you know, me and homeboy, they're rocking, now they brought back ultra neon bright colors is in now. Yeah. That's what it is, that's in now. So, you know, history repeats itself. You know, some things you take a little too far. Yeah. But
some things should be in the past.
Some things should be in the past, you know. But I understand what I did like when you were describing as far as fashion is just taking something simple and tweaking it. You're not going full on, you know. But I mean, it just, when it comes to men's fashion, it's what you're comfortable in. Yeah. And you just got, I mean, as a man, you just want to keep it simple. Me personally, I don't want to spend too much time. I gotta do a DJ gig. I get this buddy. I'm over here taking an hour, but I just can't find the right sneakers. I just can't rock the fire shirt. You know, I'll just go shopping and I like this, I like that. Not that I'm balling or nothing, just trying to. But yeah, I think that's the problem as far as, you know, it just takes men to comfortable. I mean, I've grown. I rocked, you know, the baggy t-shirts, the baggy this. Then in college, you know, okay, slim it down a little bit, fitted this, you know, little tight shirts here and there, slim fit, Italian, whatever. You know, you just grow. You know, people rock the hybrid collar shirt with the sneakers now. And it's each his own. You know, I don't want to, everybody, you know, dress the way you want to, but as far as men fashion, I feel it, but sometimes it's just a little too much.
It's finding a balance. It's finding a balance. Like, you know, when I'm saying pink and polka dots and stripes, you don't want to wear it all in one. It's just finding a balance, you know. If it's going to be, if you want to introduce a pink accessory or something like that, you know, do it in the way that fits you. Yeah, you know, you can definitely rock, you know, light pink. Just sometimes you're so strong. Like, just look at me, I'm a peacock. You know. So, fashion, I feel that, you know, if we get you on here on the DJQuam Podcast, it's going to be interesting. I want to get a panel. You know, that'll be very interesting, you know. But let's get into your singing. So you also are a singer. Yes. And how long have you been singing? All my life. My dad's a singer and a producer, so it's in your blood. Okay. It's in my blood. Yeah. My whole side of my dad's side of the family, they're all musicians. Oh, wow. I mean, you're surrounded by. Okay, so let me ask you this question: how do you feel about the Northern California Bay Area music scene for artists up and coming? To be honest, I kind of stopped following the music today just because it's not my style anymore. I like to listen to the 90s. Nothing wrong with that, definitely. Oldies. So I really haven't, I've been crazy busy. I really don't listen to the radio as much. I just listen to different mixes or my iPod. So I'm still kind of discovering other music artists out there, but give me a list. I mean, maybe I've heard of a couple. Oh, no, I mean, it doesn't have to be specific genre, but how, more of the way I understand the way you comprehend it, but I mean more of how is it as far as, you know, people being successful from the Bay Area or just California in general? I mean, it's a few. I mean, LA is doing all right. Yeah. The Bay Area, you know, with little sprinkles, but how do you feel it? Do you feel it's the problem, the quality of the artists? Are there not enough outlets? It's AKA your Bay Area inspired. We'll get to that in a little bit. But how do you feel about just, if you're just, regardless of opinion, how do you feel, what are the outlets for up and coming artists in California? Personally, I feel like I don't hear a lot of Bay Area artists just because I don't think there's that many outlets. Coming from San Jose, I have yet to hear about a San Jose artist.
Sure.
You know?
Very hard, very hard.
And, you know, when we go into Bay Area inspired, I just feel like when we talk about music, the first thing that people think of is LA. That's the music capital, or, you know, Atlanta, or, you know, New York for fashion, or even music. But the Bay Area, I mean, aside from like, you know, Too Short, E40, I don't really think of anybody else bigger than that, that I know of. But I hope that it grows soon. We definitely need to highlight our artists more and definitely promote them and support them. Yeah, that's right.
I believe it's a couple of factors. I think the main thing in California, we have the most confidence in the world. Just people, especially from the Bay Area, just they feel whatever it is, if it's sports, if it's music, they're instantly the best. And I think the problem with then you talk about technology, it's making it easier for everybody to do.
Oh yeah.
And then coming back, the support factor. We really don't support our own and invest in our own. So even if that artist isn't going to get a major deal soon, they can at least survive in their area and get that support. So when they do get that, they open the doors for other artists. It's, you know, and the music industry is not necessarily like sports. It's only one can make it. Everybody can make it, you know. But I think that's the problem, is that there's always just, I got to get mine before you get yours.
Yeah.
And then coming back to the technologies, as far as in this day and age, people don't want to per se earn their stripes.
Yeah.
They just want the instant gratification,
Exactly.
social media, overnight celebrity. And you listen to some songs that are one-hit wonders. And I'm, you know, even to those people, you know, I'm not mad at that, because in this day and age, you have to catch people with, you know, you got to do something to catch their attention. And then you slowly bring them into the depth of what your music is, whatever you do, whatever, like the story you're telling. So it takes time, but it's hard to do that because the ears, the younger they are, they don't really, he's talking about 80s, 90s, 70s. I totally agree with you. As a DJ, I have to play club records, but if you listen to what I have in my car, rock, 70s, funk, 90s, R&B, I'm African, reggae, I listen to everything because when I look back at it, you look up YouTube and you look at the 90s, the 70s, and the 80s, especially in the 70s, when you think about just bands in general, most of these guys are in their 30s or 40s. So if you were going to get to be put on TV or anything, you had to be pretty awesome. You had to be dope.
Yeah.
There wasn't no, I don't even want to, if I play the music, but I was going to say you couldn't just go ahead and
waltz up there.
Yeah, waltz
crazy
up there.
outfit.
Exactly.
I do music.
I do music. You necessarily couldn't do that. So I just think the problem is that not necessarily the artist, but I think competition is good. It brings out the best. And so but the problem is so many shortcuts. People are focusing on the shortcuts rather than doing it right. So coming back to the consumers and people who listen to music, I also think that kind of sucks that we're not supporting the artist, because you have to train your ear. So or your ear and your eyes, when you hear quality, support it, you know, give people the benefit of the doubt. But I can't get mad at the consumer if the artist has only been doing this for so long. Quality takes time. If you're just, bam, I'm a rapper, you know, and that's the hook, and call it a day.
Well, to touch on that, I definitely agree with you. I think technology has made it so easy. I mean, I have freaking GarageBand on my phone. And it's like, now I'm a producer.
I'm using GarageBand.
And now I have Instagram.
Right,
I'm a photographer. You know what I mean? But what people don't, I kind of, because I produce too, I learned from my dad. I use, as I was telling Vanessa, I was using hardware.
Right.
I started with hardware, then I went into software. I'm still tinkering around with that. I write all my stuff. Yeah. I compose all my stuff. And so when I run into an artist and they're like, oh yeah, like I sing, it's like, oh, okay, like, what do you do? Like, do you write your own stuff? Oh, you know, and it's okay to say like, oh no, you know, I have somebody do this for me, or I have a producer, you know, create the tracks for me. That's cool and everything, but like you say, people want to wake up and bam, I'm, you know, so successful. And looking at my dad who does this for a living, it's insulting when people are like, yeah, I'm a rapper, because it's like, you don't wake up one day and say, I'm a doctor, I'm going to start doing surgery on someone. No, like, you earn your stripes. Like, you have to put in work. It takes time. You have to learn the craft. It's a business too. And if you have the talent, you know, keep refining your talent. But, you know, as we're not bashing anybody, no, we're not. That instant gratification, because you never know life. You never truly are ready. Yeah. Just, you know, if you have that opportunity, why not go for it? You know, shoot, make your money. And, you know, sometimes, especially in the entertainment business, you don't have, especially now, I was talking to another friend who told me that the problem is that a lot of artists don't have time to develop and find out who they are. And that's why once they come up with their first single, which is most likely going to be for the masses, you don't really have time to show the people, show your listeners who you are. And that's what's going to string them along for your whole career. You just, okay, this is your song, it doesn't work out, bam, you're done. So definitely to the artists trying to make it, you know, when you get time, because I know you're 24/7, no free time. Yeah. Thanks for coming out for doing this podcast, this interview. But I totally agree. It's hard, but the good thing is that the people who do make it, you know, they're really doing something. You know, you look at somebody like Kendrick Lamar, coming from LA, the A$AP Rockies, the J. Cole's, you know, they're doing that. I like innovation. Anybody who's doing something different, it's definitely dope. Now, you know, the last thing we're going to talk about, not that I'm not enjoying your time, talk about your Bay Area inspired. Yes, Bay Area inspired. It is an online publication that I've been working on for quite some time. And Bay Area Inspired was created during my job hunt. I used to work in higher education, and I mean, I was making decent money. However, I was miserable because as an artist, I didn't have a creative outlet, and that was my passion. I was itching to do something that didn't allow me to have any constraints and allow me to think outside the box. So that's when I started job hunting, and I realized that there wasn't a lot of creative opportunities out there. As I was saying before, it was either donate your time or get $10 an hour, or have all this years of experience, which I didn't have coming, you know, straight out of college. So as a writer, I'm like, you know, maybe I should write about this. And then I thought to myself, well, maybe I should highlight other people and start writing about their work. And then that just, all the creative juices started flowing. I'm like, well, let me create a whole publication dedicated to the Bay Area, you know, because again, you know, when you hear Bay Area, people think of technology like Google, Facebook, you know, Silicon Valley. And, you know, sorry, I got distracted. When you say music, when you say fashion, people really don't think of the Bay Area. And it's like, we have so many resources, we have so many talented people. And again, it's falling back on supporting our people. It takes a team to, you know, help others get successful. So Bay Area Inspired is highlighting all those performing visual artists, businesses, students right out of college, since it's so hard to get a job, events. I'm from San Jose. There's events that I'm like, oh, we have this here? I never heard of this. San Jose is a big city. It's a big city, and there's stuff that I don't even hear about. I'm like Sub-Zero. It was my first time last year going to it. Never even heard of it. Yeah, they also have music in the park. Yes. You know, that a lot of people outside the band, it's a dope, it's outside event, it's free. And they, you know, they highlight all genres of music. Yeah. That's pretty dope. So I agree with you. I love that, you know, you have that middleman. I'm a big fan of the middleman, the person. You're the B. You have the A, the B, and the consumers are the C. So you're just playing a role. And if you do it right, you can make some money. So definitely, that's a great opportunity for just. I know you told me earlier, visual and performing. You know, anything to do with entertainment or. Basically, that's it. It's just a platform for you to network and help get a little more promotion. So that's dope, Bay Area Inspired. So I just want to thank you for coming on the DJQuam Podcast. We definitely have to do this again with both our busy schedules. Yes, maybe I can dress you in some polka dots. Have a little rack for you to pick from, and then pick a outfit for you.
I'm African.
Compare.
So we'll see. We'll see. I'm just a simple guy, with the complex thoughts. So there we go. But I don't know. I'll just keep it simple. There's nothing wrong with white t-shirt, blue jeans, and Nikes. Now. All right, this is DJQuam Podcast. Shout out to my homegirl Olivia.
Thank you.
Let's go. Damn.
Yay.